What is up, YouTube? This is DeFGandolf coming to you with another World of Tanks video, and today I'm here with a replay doubleheader, and first up we have the T-34-3. Now the T-34-3 is a Tier 8 Chinese premium medium tank, and it is the only premium medium tank for the Chinese at Tier 8 that you can purchase at the moment. There's also the Type 59, which was taken off the store before I even started playing the game. And this is one of my favorite tanks in the game. Never mind just my favorite tank of the premiums. But yes, so the thing that makes this tank special is it is a fairly mobile medium tank. As you can see here, I'm cooking across this field at a little under 50. But it is very, very, very good in Tier 8 games. And it has a very nice 122mm main gun, and it is roughly the same gun that you get on the 112, which is the Tier 8 Chinese heavy premium tank. It's 122mm gun with 175mm of penetration and 390 average damage. Now the reload is a little long, I guess. But it recently got buffed, which made me really happy. It went from about 12 seconds for me, 12.4 seconds to about 11.4 seconds for me. But I run vents, gun rammer, 110% crew, all that good stuff, brothers in arms. And my reload is about 11.4-ish seconds, which really is not that bad at all for a 122mm gun. The accuracy on the gun isn't great, but it's not bad either. You will have issues firing on the move. You want to try to avoid that generally, but a lot of times you're perfectly fine at close range especially. So what I'm doing right now is going to a spot that I very much enjoy going to in my faster tanks that have good turret armor, which this tank definitely does have. This has excellent frontal turret armor, very much so like the likes of the Type 59. In fact, I think it's the same armor all around as the Type 59, although I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's the same. So you do have a very nice 120mm upper plate on the front of the hull, and your turret is that hemispherical, very thick armor that if you don't hit it straight on, will just go pinging off regardless. And even if you do hit it straight on, it has a lot of armor for you to go through. Now, the gun with 175mm of penetration that's actually about average for the Tier 8 medium tanks, which is interesting. And I took out that Chi Reed, just kind of a clutch shot. A lot of times you'll find the clutch shots missing. This gun's aim time is not great, and its unaimed accuracy is pretty bad. As you saw right there, the shot flew high into the IS-3's turret and just pinged off. But back to when I was talking about the armor. The armor on this tank is excellent if you use it. Now, if you don't use it, I mean, you're not going to bounce much. 3 degrees of gun depression, which is the biggest downfall of this tank, I think, and it's really what steers a lot of people away from it. I mean, that 3 degrees of gun depression is its biggest weakness, and it makes it hard to use the turret a lot of times, but you find positions like this, and all that IS-3 could really shoot was my turret there because of his very little gun depression, and it's just excellent. I pinned that IS-3 up there on top of the little ridge line there with a very nice tracking shot at a very high damage roll too, 430. With an average damage of 390, rolling for 430 is rather nice. Usually I find myself rolling low, not high. And I get another nice shot into his side, and our friendly IS-3 finishes him off. So now I've done about 1,500 damage, a little under, and, you know, I'm pretty much alone. There's a friendly IS-3 up here, and I'm being accused of shooting gold for putting shots into the side armor of an IS-3, who would have thought. And I see the E25 and the Churchill 7, and our IS-3 decides to go charging up and somehow bounces a shot from the Hellcat. I'm not actually sure how that Hellcat shot bounced, but regardless, I put a shot into him, the IS-3 killed him, and yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good kill in that Hellcat, but our IS-3 goes meandering down the slope, runs into an E25, KV5, Churchill 7, and Sherman Jumbo, and just gets annihilated. Another thing about this tank is you see I'm top tier here. This tank does get premium matchmaking, so you will not see tier 10s unless you're in a platoon with a tank that does not get premium matchmaking, which is a very, very, very nice thing. Now, this E25 thought he was going to be smart and rush me. Well, that didn't go over too well for him now, did it? 442 damage with one shot, and my teammates finish him off. Now, I just noticed at this point when I was playing it that Jumbo is firing the 105mm derp gun, and so I need to keep that in mind as I'm playing through this, because now I know what gun he's using. That gives me a bit of an advantage, because I know he won't be able to do a lot of damage with the HE shells from that derp gun. And I've also noticed at this point there's an IS-6 back in the town. And I do want to give my Firefly some support, because a tier 6 against a tier 8 heavy, I mean, that's not going to go too well. So I back up here to see what I can do for him. This is where you see the 3 degrees of gun depression really being annoying. That shot, I didn't let it aim all the way, and it flies into the building, unfortunately. And the Firefly goes down. But the I-6 is still in full health. He would have killed the Firefly anyway. That time my shot goes perfectly fine into the side of the I-6 for a slightly low roll, but still, it's a chunk of damage to be dealt out by a medium tank. Most medium tanks don't have anywhere near the alpha damage of this one. A lot of times you won't get alpha damage like this until you get up into tier 9. But this has it on a tier 8 tank. Now the I-6 does put a return shot into the back of my hull. That is one mistake I made in playing that right there. Is I had my rear to him, and that shot probably would have bounced if I had had my front to him, because it would have been fairly well angled. And now I've turned my front around, and he puts the shot straight into my turret, and there's just no chance of it penetrating. He only has 175mm of penetration, and there's no way, even with a high penetration roll, that's going to go through my turret, even straight on. So now, there's just 3 enemies left. At this point, it's all about getting more damage. I've already done 3,000 damage, which is a very, very nice game. And it's a lot of credits. But I want more. KV5's right there. I don't really feel like getting shot by him. And the Churchill 7 is just as good of a target. So I put a nice 362 damage into the Churchill 7. Still a low roll, but I'm not going to complain. And now the KV5 is dead. I put a finishing shot into the Churchill 7. And there's just nothing that Churchill could do. And now I set my sights on the Sherman Jumbo. He has not hit me this game. He's missed every time. Just kind of unfortunate for him. And he just had no chance there. Just no chance at all. So yeah, that is the T-34-3. Very, very, very nice tier 8 premium medium tank. You can see all those shots where they came off my turret. And I think this is just an excellent tank. It is my favorite tier 8 premium tank. So now we're going to go on to an M46 Patton game. And that is my only tier 9 right now, but it is a very, very nice tier 9. Alright, see you there. Alrighty guys, I'm back in my M46 Patton, and this is the best matchmaking I've ever gotten in this tank. There are only 3 tier 9s on each team. We have an M103, myself, and a Type 61. They have an IS-8, an Object 432, and a T-54-3 which is the counterpart to the M46 Patton. Now, the T-54-3 is an autoloader, while the M46 Patton is not. And the T-54-3 I believe has slightly better turret armor, but I'm not sure. Either way, the armor on both tanks is nothing spectacular. You will very rarely find yourself bouncing shots from tier 9s or even tier 8s, and almost never from tier 10s, unless your tracks do eat the shots, which does happen occasionally. So, at this point, what I want to do is just bully these lower tier enemy tanks. So I'm just going to come over here onto the northeastern side here and find myself a nice firing position where I can shoot down across more to the east and down to the south. So I think I see what I want to do at this point. They have one of their tier 9s over there, which is a really, really big target for me. I do want to eliminate their tier 9s as quickly as possible. But first I see a tier 7 heavy, the KB3, which is a very well armored tier 7 heavy tank. But this gun with 218mm penetration, I believe it is, goes through its armor like butter. Yeah, 218mm penetration. And I try to put one into his track there, but unfortunately it goes a little bit left, hits him in the hull, and just pings off. So now there's a lot of enemy tanks down there in that valley that I have shots on, so I just want to come up here and put shots into them. That was a good 394 damage into the VK-30-02D there. That's only a tier 7 medium tank, but all the same, damage is damage. Now he's also being shot at by my teammates, so he's going to go down very soon. And there he goes. And at this point, I've already done 1,500 damage, and I want more. There's the IS-8. I'm trying to find a shot, but I can't get it. So I put one into the KV-13 for another 394 damage roll. That's actually 300... That's 3 in a row, I think, that were 394 damage rolls. This gun really does like that number. That's 4 higher than its average damage of 390 with this 105mm gun, so I'm not going to complain. There for a second I thought the KV-3 had poked its head back out, but it did not. So I want to come over here and see if I can find shots on the low, but no such luck. T-28 prototype pops up, but he's down below the train tracks, and so I'm running out of targets very, very quickly here. KV-3 decides to come back out. I put 377 damage into him with one shot. And at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the kill. Everyone else is just bouncing off of his armor. I aim for his turret, which is the weakest part of that tank, really. That's its main weak spot, is its turret cheeks. So I aim for that, but the shot flies low. But it's still pinned, so hey, it's all good. So that's my first kill of this game. And now I've done 2.8k damage, almost 2.9k damage. So I'm having a really good game at this point. The enemy low is still down there to my south, but at this point, I don't mind taking a shot from him. I do want to get across and defend the base, because our eastern side on the peninsula there has fallen. So I need to get over to that side of the map as quickly as possible, use this tank's mobility to my advantage. Now, as I thought would happen, the low does put a shot into me, and I try on the move to put a shot into him. It does hit, but it bounces, and this tank is not bad at firing on the move at all, and it does have extremely good mobility, and it's just a very, very, very good all-around medium tank in my opinion. Now, the gun's DPM is some of the best in Tier 9. It recently got a DPM buff as well. It was good before that, but now it's just an absolutely superb gun, especially for taking out Tier 7s and 8s. The reload is very, 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 very fast for the amount of damage it puts out. I want to try to come over here to the side of this building to put a shot into that Tier 7 tank destroyer there. And I think I'm going to get it, but it flies a little bit to the right and bounces off his rear. I think that was his rear armor. But it was at such a high angle that it just didn't matter. My shell wasn't big enough to overmatch it. I tried to put that shot through the column into the T-50-41, but that column took enough of the penetration off my shot that it did not penetrate his upper glacis there. And he pulls back behind the rock, so unfortunately I can't put another shot into him. So at this point I'm being very, 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 very cautious, because the T-50-41 can take almost all my health away, and if he rolls high, he can kill me with one drop. And that's not something that I want to happen. I see the Tiger 2s flanking around behind, so I'll just wait for him to come and distract the T-50-41, and I'll swoop in and deal my damage. So the T-50-41 is moved towards the cap, and I'm going to try to put a shot into him there, but unfortunately he was too far around the corner and I could not hit him. So now I kept driving around this side, knowing they've quit capping, so I knew the Pershing would be over here somewhere. There he is. He doesn't have a chance. That 90mm gun on the Pershing, while it's adequate in its tier, it has some issues against higher tier tanks. He does pin me, however, but it's too late. He missed his first shot on me, and that was all she wrote for him. Our T-28 prototype takes down their T-50-41, so that's a very nice higher tier kill for that prototype. And now they only have 3 enemy tanks left. The T-28 prototype, the T-32, and an RT. The Su-14-2, actually, which is a very, very dangerous gun. If I get hit by him, I'm dead. Just period. So, now, at this point, I'm just trying to get some more damage done. I'm pretty sure I won't get another shot on the T-32, which I'm right. The Tiger 1 snipes him from across the map after he dropped off the spotting. And man, that was a very nice shot. I can't speak. A very nice shot by our Tiger 1. T-28 prototypes popped up. I'm thinking about just rushing over there to try to get to him, but instead I stopped, seeing that he was surrounded, knowing he would back up. And once he does so, I put a nice 395 damage shot into his back. And that caps off my 4,093 damage. I get stuck on the train cars right here. Gives me a little trouble getting through there. And now I'm looking at my map. I've got XVM installed, so I can see the last known position of the Su-14-2, although that feature has been built into the standard vanilla game now with a 9.5 update. So I know where he was last spotted, and I know that RE-25 and Charioteer are going around the west side of that rock. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be down on this side, and he is. My guess is correct, my instincts are right, and I put a very nice on-the-move shot into that arty, and roll very high for the 410 damage needed to kill him. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do head over to my channel and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them in the comment section below. And yeah, this is DeFGandolf signing off. Later, guys.